Hey, what's up? I'm Amber Getz for HubGarage.com, and I am standing here with Troy Trepanier, who is infamous at the National Roadster Show this year. Troy, how you doing?
Just fine. It was nice of them, being from the Midwest, to invite us out here and name us Builder of the Year. So recognizing the Midwest was pretty nice because there's so many talented builders out here on the West Coast.
Yeah, you're getting lots of recognition. People are stopping by non-stop to check out your car.
Yeah, it's great. Growing up looking at Hot Rod Magazine, everything was West Coast and SoCal and this and that. So, I've become a lot of friends the last 10 years. So we really one time wanted to bring this car out here and show everybody what we did, and we won the Riddler Show last year with it, so it's kind of a big deal. And but even beyond that, I just wanted to show everybody, what our shop's capable of doing now.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about the car you've created behind us?
Well, it's a 36 Ford three-window coupe, which is probably one of the most popular modified cars in the street rod industry. But, we took a different approach at it. We kind of had four objectives on design, and the key was to make it look like an old car still, but make it ultra-modern. So, the top of the car we made look old, and, you kind of expect on the top, everybody cuts and chaps and wedges. It's moved 100 ways, 100 places, but the bottom is really where we got creative. We built all the suspension from scratch. It has a Carroll Shelby 427 FE aluminum motor, which is a very rare motor, which was, that was another authentic Ford thing. We did a lot of little Ford touches in the car, so somebody from 50 feet could look under the hood without even knowing what the engine is and know it's an FE Ford motor. So then just, like I said, the top, you can only do so much. The bottom, all the suspension that we built underneath is built from scratch, and it's built from a clean sheet of paper. And what I mean by that is there's so many cars now getting built. Like, you'll look at something really nice and you'll compare it to something that you've seen. So our objective was, when you look under the car, we want you to have an open mind and say, man, I've never seen that before. And that was really the key, because we knew we could do the finish work, but we really wanted to show people something new.
Where did you get your inspiration for the color? Because they're so harmonious, the two greens together. Well,
everybody gives us a hard time because I paint everything green. Our chicane sitting over here is green, and we've probably done 80% of stuff we do is green, but the colors work. And on this particular car, in the 40s, there was like a couple greens that were kind of synonymous to that era. So we just took that and kind of, what would it be in today's standards, but still not lose that look. So it has a lot of gold in it, and then the solid color is kind of a trademark where we two-tone a lot of things. So we kept our standard theme of two-toning, but made it work on the car. And then with all the plating is nickel, so it's kind of yellow. So it has a very easy look to it when you look at it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It's very beautiful.
Thank you.
So when you take on a project or decide to take on a project like this, where do you start?
Well, this one was easy. Ross and Beth Myers came to us, and we unveiled a car at the shop, little 32 Ford, and he came there, seen it, and he had met my father and come to visit the shop, and he approached me with this, and he said, I got this old 36 Ford I want to do for the Riddler. And I'm like, okay, we've been going to the Riddler Show for 20 years. We know what it's about, but we haven't participated. So when he told me that he bought the car when he was 9 years old for $25 and kept it 47 years, I had goosebumps, and I'm like, this is the right guy. Because we build cars for passionate people that are car people. And once he told me that, I knew I'm like, I had to do it.
Did you have any major obstacles you had to overcome, any things that weren't really working out very well?
Everything's built from scratch, and it's so unique, but we've got such a good group of guys. We had 20 guys working on it, and we do everything in-house, so everything we dreamed up, we made happen. And that was just the last 20 years of having resources and having the right people. And people always say the Riddler projects, you always work to the last minute, and there's 30,000 hours in a car, but it was fun the whole time because we have the right group of people together.
What was your favorite part, or what is there something that's always your favorite part to get to on a project?
For us, it's the suspension and drivetrain stuff, because we're known, like, for instance, Chip Boost, my good friend of mine, is known for the cosmetic styling. We're known for the mechanical part of it, because most of the cars we build are high horsepower and we drive them on the street. So the most fun part getting into on this car was, like I was saying earlier, the body. We did everything to it, and you kind of expect that. But when you look underneath, is where the Rad Rides look is there, because they expect that unique suspension and drivetrain stuff. And it was very complicated, but that was definitely the most fun.
Wow, that's great. So did you say 30,000 hours to build this?
Yeah, it was 30,000 hours in 16 months, and that's a ton. You tell people that, and they just, you can see the wheels turn in their head. But there's only about 4 things we didn't actually build from scratch on the car. So when you start showing people the car and they look under it, and you explain it to them, then, I mean, even though it sounds crazy at the time, then they really understand, well, yeah, I see it, you know. Because we didn't want anything you could buy, you know, we wanted to make everything.
Okay, so I have one last question for you. Who do you think are maybe some of the front runners to take the Amber Award this year?
Man, I tell you, it's so hard anymore. You know, there's 5 or 6 from a quality standpoint that are just awesome. You know, my personal preference, what I like is like the Doane Spencer recreation over here, because it's a mechanical car. I mean, they don't have it up on its thing and all that and flashy, but from a mechanical standpoint, it's incredibly nice. And I personally like that car the best, but I mean, there's 4 or 5 that you can, it's hard. You know, like when we went to, here's one of my sayings, there's always somebody that wins every year, and there will be here, but when we did this car, I was like, okay, the best car I've ever seen at Detroit at the time or here or anywhere was Chip's Impression that he built. So that was 3 years ago. So I'm like, you know, that was our goal. That's people had won after him, but when we went to Detroit, we wanted to set the bar. We wanted to raise it and put it up here. Now everybody compares what the standards are to our car, you know. So we tried to go above and beyond, and there's 4 or 5 cars here that are equal. So it's, man, unless you can really crawl around them, looking at some of the cars, none of them are really like that's the winner. And when we brought this to Detroit, people walked around, I mean, and not being arrogant, but I mean, they're like, that's it. I mean, it was so bizarre and well done. I mean, so it's hard to stand out anymore.
Well, congratulations. It's beautiful. You guys have done an amazing job, so we're excited to see what Rad Rides comes up with in the future. Thank you so much for your time, Troy. I'm Amber Getz for HubGarage.com, here with 2008 Builder of the Year, Troy Trepanier.
Hi, I'm Troy Trepanier, coming to you from the National Roadster Show here in 08, and you're watching HubGarage.com.